What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me again, and we are back with a new Outriders build video. But first, I'd like to thank everyone for your support. I cannot believe that somehow we've reached a lot of Outriders out there who share our enthusiasm for the Anomaly Trickster. So thank you guys for sharing your time. Thank you for all the likes and dislikes. And thank you for all the feedback in the comment section. Thank you for the questions, and also thank you for sharing your disappointment. It's been a minute, now here we go. To all the people who watched my previous build video, here's another temporal blade build. Yes, this time we're losing the balance between damage and survivability like the previous build video. Today, we are taking names and kicking Broodmothers' asses. That's right, I'm turning this game into a looter-slasher RPG. I call this build, for lack of ingenuity, the Slasher 3.0. Okay, here we are. Firstly, I want to briefly discuss the only defensive mod that we're gonna use, and that's Circle of Power. You can get this mod from all the cannonball pants or from the legendary boots that Tiago sells for pyromancers. So why would you get this instead of an armor mod? 45% resistance is fairly enough to survive incoming damage from monsters in this game, as long as you're moving constantly and making the right moves. Don't worry, that 50% physical damage reduction that comes from your base armor values is all you need when fighting monsters. Now, let's talk about this two mod combo that greatly increases the damage of this build. Unstoppable force and no resistance against the fortified. So instead of directly improving anomaly power, it makes use of resistance piercing to greatly increase anomaly power and ultimately increasing your anomaly damage down the line. Unstoppable force can be found in the legendary gear bought from Tiago as a pyromancer. What it does is, if you have 20% resistance piercing, half of that is 10%, so that 10% becomes a 10% increase in your anomaly power. This only means that if you have more resistance piercing, the more your anomaly power increases, which means more damage for your skills. Other sources of resistance piercing can be grabbed from your skill tree. As a Trickster, you'll have an option to choose 2 nodes to increase your resistance piercing. Get those immediately. Activating movement skills such as Hunt the Prey also increases your resistance piercing by 25%. Lastly, activating damage skills like the Temporal Blade also increases your resistance piercing by another 25%. A mod that perfectly synergizes with Unstoppable Force is No Resistance against the Fortified. It converts 50% of your armor piercing into resistance piercing. You can easily get armor piercing from weapon attributes. No need to invest in skill tree nodes for this one. Weapons with armor piercing can have a fully upgraded armor piercing attribute of 30%. With no resistance against the fortified, you get 15% more resistance piercing just by equipping a weapon with an armor piercing attribute. Other sources of armor piercing can be grabbed from your skill tree. Specifically, when you activate damage skills, you'll get a 30% increased armor piercing. With no resistance against the fortified, you'll get a total of 30% more resistance piercing. If you do the math, that's 20% from the nodes, 30% from armor piercing, 25% from Hunt the Prey, and 25% from Temporal Blade. That's 100% resistance piercing and a 50% increase in anomaly power with Unstoppable Force. The remaining mods for this build include 4 mods from the Temporal Blade like Turbo Slice, Slasher, Strong Slice, and Cut Loose. Y'all know how these mods function already, so I'm not gonna discuss it. The last 2 armor mods are to further increase our Temporal Blade damage: Captain Hunter and Power Simulation. Captain Hunter increases damage to Elite by 25%, and Power Simulation increases your anomaly power by 11,000 per elite enemy present in the map. For the weapons, it's pretty much the same. The Anomaly with Moaning Winds and Fortress, the Guillotine with Radiation Splash and Moaning Winds, and an Earthborn Renegade Pistol with Fortress and Mark of the Stake for some crowd control and skill leech while enemies are burning. So while my skills are on cooldown, I can spray my gun, reload, watch enemies burn, and I heal in return. As with all my previous slasher builds, the skills are pretty much the same. Temporal Blade, Venetus Knife, and Hunt the Prey, all of which has less than 7-second cooldowns. Here's the skill tree. It's basically a straightforward river path. You can just copy and paste it if you want. In summary, this build melts all types of elites given the right conditions. These conditions include the number of elites in the map and the number of monsters who are in close range. Basically, these two conditions help buff the damage such that tanky elites like the Broodmother can die in one combo of Hunter Prey, melee attack, 2 slashes of Temporal Blade, and Venetus Knife in the end. Except of course for those named bosses like the Doctor Detonator, Moloch, Yagak, but every elite, you name it, from humanoid elites like the captains, beasts like the behemoths, crawlers, etc., they die in one combo given the right conditions. With 100% resistance piercing, enemy resistances are nullified, allowing you to deal the full damage potential of your Temporal Blade. You can do the Moaning Winds weapon switch for some nasty AoE damage to clear weakened enemies and some stragglers. All of these you can do in Challenge Tier 15. If you're farming Challenge Tier 14s, then imagine how easy it'll be when elites are guaranteed to die from one combo without considering the number of elites in the map and the number of enemies in close range. That is all for now, you guys. I hope you liked today's episode, and again, thank you for the subs. The channel is slowly growing. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do, my friend. Subscribe and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all the happenings in our channel. I hope you guys stay safe in these difficult times. I leave you guys with a no switch gameplay in the end. See you on the next one. I'm out.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City